one.
Welcome back to another Genius Days. Today we're talking about the event that just went down. We're on our third day today. We had 2 days so far. It's called Writing Reality, Developing Your Archetype. And Ryan attended. I and Ivan were conducting the event. And yeah, it was really fascinating. Ryan, what did you think of it, man?
All right, let's start off with first things first. The trailer video was interesting. I had no idea what to expect, and I basically decided to use it as um what's it called again? Instead of a vision board, a vision trailer or vision movie, and just integrate it in my meditations. Where so every time I get up, find that clip and just play for a second and just imagine I'm there in that vibe, in that smooth yet up tempo vibe. Like it's always let's get after the money, let's get the bitches, let's get that fucking empire. And that's that whole, and while just being very fun loving about everything. And it's funny because I couldn't help but notice um it has almost a brainwashing effect on me because my
Yeah.
dreams have started to play some scenes that are very similar to the trailer. Now, the trailer is just one part of it. As
So let's explain real quick. I'm gonna pause you because just to explain, before we even start the event, days in advance, right? Everyone gets a mind movie, and it's a trailer. It's like a clips of scenes and movies um, that are there to just program your subconscious mind, like some sort of like child indoctrination camp for Chinese kids, but like now it's like for you and your success, you know? So it's a little movie, okay? That just so you guys can.
Well, that's a good point because there's propaganda all around us. Why don't we use propaganda for ourselves to brainwash ourselves so we can be the best version of ourselves, right? So that's a good point, man. But yeah, I love the mind movie because it's powerful, man. Like when you right before you sleep, right before you wake up, all these moments of where you are most affected by subliminals or by images, even right after nutting, right? Like sex magic, that too. Like I'll like play that movie, that I made one for myself as well. Ivan, I'll make one for you too, bro. Yeah, I got you. But yeah, mind movie is just a great, fascinating thing. And yeah, that's just how we started the event out. And day one is all about the rewiring the past, and day two is all about the present and being able to find the acting techniques, right? And really going into, we did a lot, right? We did meditations, we did breath work. Ryan said that he was kind of like not in reality anymore. Could you explain that, bro? Well, like what happened to you in that state when you were doing that like breath work and meditation?
it was very vague, the feeling, because I couldn't get a good concept of what was going on with me. Because it felt more like a combination of almost not tripping balls, that's not quite it, but it's like I'm in a different universe for just a split second, if that makes sense. And when I came back, I had to almost get used to a different paradigm. Do you remember that scene of Rick and Morty where Rick brought Morty to a gaming scene? And one of his favorite games was to put on a helmet and he becomes a different person. Now, the moment Morty got out of the game, there's a moment of confusion. And that moment of confusion, I remember a lot of, oh shit, what just happened? And as I got used to feeling, the more I started to realize something has been resolved that I'm probably not even aware of, because I feel for some reason more at peace, and I'm not sure whether that's a side effect or the actual effect of what's happened. Now, if I look back into the reality that I was in, it was almost as if I was playing the role of the monkey god, like not realizing that I am. But if I would put it in a rationalization, it feels very similar to that storyline, like the flying to the clouds, the fighting, the mountain climbing, the real.
I see what you're saying. Is that you're no longer like that image of the monkey god? You're no longer like, you're realizing why I was having that image, and it's because like I'm supposed to play characteristics from the storyline, and then you start to realize that all the deities and all the gods and Thor and all of them, they're archetypes, they're energies that we can tap into, that were created, that we can all tap into. They're just there. It's the frequency is just there so that we can learn from it and we can become that, if we so choose to be whatever entity or being or animal. That's what we work with the animals on day 2. What were all the animals that came up, and then which was the ones that dominating right now, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
one of those questions was asked, like if I was an animal, what would I be? And it had to do a lot with, could be mythical, could be this, could be that. And it's been a while, but it's a very heavy combination between the monkey or an ape with a feline, specifically the tiger. I just couldn't choose between those two. And just as a joke, I decided to look at what's the biggest ape we have, or the biggest monkey, and what would be the biggest feline, even bigger than a lion. What would happen if you combine the strengths of all these three? You would have a, a version of a chimera, a mythical mutant that
Chimera,
is
nice.
designed for one thing only: to devour what's in front.
Mhm. Incredible, man. Yesterday after day 2, I did this channeled kind of like, I found fantasy photos of all of the people who attended, right?
Yeah, and of course you would make me into the ape with the gi. I
They
should
put-
have seen it coming. I should have seen it coming.
Yo, Ryan, you're talking with more rhythm today, right?
Yeah, maybe because I'm tired, but
You're making taps, right? You're making more movements. Your communication is more engaging, right?
right,
Because before it was monotone, right? Monotone just means one tone, right? And just monotonous becomes disengaging, right? But now you're playing in different tones, and then or you'll be like duh, 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 right?
I'm
Uh,
suffering
and
Tony. That can only be good.
and so that's a new thing that I'm seeing. I think
Right,
everyone's. Do you guys? This is new to you guys too.
yeah, I'm definitely noticing that.
awesome.
And so the whole idea of it being a movie, that is it's really really important to this. This is why it was designed the way it was designed in our minds, or subconscious minds. That's why we did the garden meditation, where we working with our subconscious mind. We're working with visualizations and past life regression, right? We're working with the inner vision, right?
Right,
And so like we're literally working out our third eye,
right,
right? That whole time. Because the thing is, as good as your imagination is, there are certain things that are very hard to imagine, right? such as imagining, being inside of you, or imagining being a blood cell, being inside of your vein, right? Or being a tree, right? If you haven't practiced this, like really being the tree, literally like feeling like, oh fuck, I got the fucking roots. Like literally, you'll start to feel your energy go, like it's growing like that into the ground, like real physical roots. And it's like, oh shit, dude, I was not expecting that one. Oh shit, motherfucking universe. I see why you said 333 just a minute ago. Oh,
Right.
thanks. um, it's a movie. It's all of this. If you think about this and then you think back, knowing this now, what I'm saying is that it's all about it being a movie. That's why we did the visualization where we saw the screen, right? And then we scoot back and we delete the video, right?
Right.
Now, what did you think about that one? Because I thought that was one of my favorites.
Huh. What did I
I
think about that?
I think Ryan zoned out during that process. He was just like out of it. You know what I mean? Well, that's what I observed, man, at least. But
Yeah, that might also be the case because I found the experience to be pretty heavy. It was, don't
they,
underestimate this, whoever's listening to this or viewing this. This was tough because especially when you're doing like almost at midnight and you're already tired. There's a point where I definitely zoned out. What I really enjoyed was the gardening one. That was very much peace giving, peace creating almost, where you would create a garden as you would wish. And for some reason, it would be, for me, it would have been a sustaining garden where the creatures would tend to the garden and to themselves, where I would like chill as if I was the god Loki and just take my time with whatever the fuck I was doing. I don't need a kingdom. I'm just here doing my fucking thing. Occasionally, wolves would come by, etc. And for some reason, I went for the Loki storyline, but combined with the monkey god, mischievous but at peace.
that's so powerful. Yeah, it's powerful how you started for like the archetype of when you were talking about we went back into your childhood when you were like 3 or 4, and what you experienced was this was through a past life regression, right? So you went back to when you were a small child, and then you basically we flung you past the blue mist, right, into
I remember that. Yeah,
the monkey king, monkey god
yeah,
form. And you were saying that that was something that you imagined when you were 3 or 4, which I thought was very interesting, how you flung yourself from the inner child into like a past life in a certain sense. Well, what
yeah.
was that like?
Well, for some reason, being part of a pantheon just made sense for my character. And if I look back to my youth, I was absolutely obsessed with heroes. Like, I wanted to be a man. And, the Indian movies, Hercules, the Greek pantheon, anything, the gladiators, something about men being men attracted me a lot. Now, for some reason, I was so obsessed with the monkey god that it became a part of my character. And every time I would act when I saw his statue. And I don't know why I did it, I just did it. To the point where I was named Hanuman Baba, meaning, I believe, father Hanuman, for some reason. Now, of course, as the years gone by, I kind of forgot about it, but the moment you said, you asked the group, from if you were God, or if you were a demigod, or if you were a mythical character, what would make sense? And immediately I went to the Greek, Indian, Chinese pantheon. There's something about the mischievous but honorable characters that attract me. I mean, Hanuman, end of the day, is still a very mischievous uncle. If he doesn't have to punch you in the face or color you with uh, a solid golden mace, he will just fuck with you to teach you a lesson. And that's good enough. And there's something endearing about that. Knowing that a dangerous man could just uh, verbal jujitsu your ass, just like that.
Nice, man. And what about the acting techniques? What did you find that was beneficial from you? You know, working with that tonality shift, for instance, as I've been pointed out, right? Like just trying out. You spoke like a chipmunk one time. How was that stretch? Like, you know, how it
Yeah,
made you.
clearly I haven't practiced that in a long time because I used to be able to sing in chipmunk as well. Uh, but now the practice more to deepen my voice. The question was, how did I experience it? And to start off with, I initially just wanted to cast Denzel Washington into the role because I like the way he talks with different movements with his mouth and etc. Now, clearly, I completely misunderstood the actress I saw did it again, and every sentence I took another character, from Denzel Washington to Robert De Niro to a bit of Jack Sparrow to The Godfather, obviously, and of course, the text had a lot to do with Taken, that very famous scene, and that was still not enough because, as Alejandro pointed out, rhythm becomes very important. And it's almost as if I had to integrate my dancing with my verbal skills because I know how to dance different styles very well, but I never learned how to use it in voice, in vocality, in speech. And why did you talk? Or when I started to practice, started to realize, isn't it kind of like how the Cubans or the Indians use different sounds to mimic the tabla? You know what I mean, right? I don't know.
Because yeah, I heard this compliment once when I was rapping in Bengali. This jazz teacher came up to me and he said, "Your voice sounds like a musical instrument." And I'd never heard that before. I didn't understand what he meant. But then like noticing the rhythm
Right,
is so important, right? It's like it goes ba 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 ba. It's like a drum, right? So you're using your voice when you're rapping or when you're performing
right.
like an instrument, which makes it so powerful with just that intention itself.
But it does make sense because if you look at Eminem or at Sheeran, the way they use their singing, it becomes percussion. That's a very powerful example. So I appreciate you pointing it out, Acosta. What I'm still finding hard is to not sound smooth per se.
Oh, to not push out so much. Is that what you're saying? You
No,
find hard?
I find it really hard. It's like in order to stay smooth, I build up a lot of tension here.
Ooh, just do it with me. Just do it with me. Ooh.
Oh,
And open up your mouth as you do it. Oh. Open up your mouth bigger. Open up your mouth bigger and do it. But do it from the start. Do it from the small to the big. Right? It's specific. It's very specific. Yeah. versus this is, you see, I here I'm required to push a little bit more
right.
versus and so try pushing the air from the bottom of your belly instead. So to release the air, don't do it through your throat or your neck muscles or your chest muscles. Do it through the belly muscles. Just push your belly in. Try that.
I think Zoom is like distorting the sound a bit, but yeah.
You can go longer, right? You went longer than before.
Yes.
Yeah, you're tapping into the power of the diaphragm, right? It like that. It's almost like it's like a valve, right? That you can just go and like bring up that energy right through your whole entire being and resonate it, right? Because we're resonating at a certain frequency with the or the and you know, I posted that thing about the bee, the bumblebee, and you said this is why when we hum, you know, we elevate higher, right? We elevate to a higher level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, the fucking bumblebee, bro. The bumblebee that levitates through the sound.
Acoustic levitation. Yeah.
Dude, they found insects like that. That's how they learn about levitating, bro. They found insects that levitate. That's what we know about levitating comes from the animal kingdom.
Right.
Right. And so when they go, that shit, that fucking, it's the same thing as going, right? Or right? These sound vibrations we're hitting notes. We're hitting notes. Now, there is no accident that the musical notes that we get taught, that are taught in schools and taught in musical schools, and the notes and stuff like that, there's a reason that somebody captured it from the universe and made it understandable for the physical world. So we made it with a little circle, and it's a circle. You close up the circle, draw a little line down, or draw a little line up. Right? These are literally shapes in the universe that existed, and we try to put the human mind to work to understand it. Right? So everything comes from nature. So everything that is going on here, for one, it comes from nature. Two, it's a movie. And 3, it's all a hologram. And 4, sound is so important. In fact, sound is more important than vision, than what we see in terms of how we try to survive. Because you could watch a video with right, with some Yankee scream, right? But it has like a dope ass beat in the background, like you know, you know, there's glitches, dude. They put glitches. You know, it's not gonna freak you out, right? But if you're listening to like a song or a video, or some TV's not working, and you hear like some really annoying sound, like you're gonna take off the shit. You're gonna lower the volume. You're gonna be like, that shit's too loud. That shit hurts. Yeah, you're not willing to sit through it. You're not willing to sit through it for an hour. Right.
That's so interesting that you brought that up, because a lot of characters, you notice, like they make the witches in like movies and stuff have this kind of voice that's like really difficult to listen to, right? And then the more beautiful characters, they make them sound very like godlike and elegant, and their speech is just fluid, you know. And I think
Right.
they do that for a reason. They, you know, the sound is really essential. Yeah, it's an essential component to acting. So yeah, I'm glad we brought that up for sure. Man, day three, we're excited for day three, man. It's gonna be epic. We're
Yeah,
gonna do
I'm gonna sleep before that.
do that. Yeah, definitely,
Because
man.
yesterday was tough.
Hmm. Yeah. And a lot of it is this journaling process that we're taking people through, right? But those questions are such key questions that not everybody's asking themselves, right? It's like people don't spend time to actually ask themselves the questions to create the archetype. And once you actually do, you start to find new things that weren't there before. Like, for instance, I found out yesterday that living in Bali was like more affordable than I thought it would be. And that's kind of a life-changing anecdote, right? That
Ollie's
fact.
even cheaper than Kolkata. Can you imagine?
Well, I don't know about that. I haven't checked that, but yeah, for
But
sure,
it's
man.
doable. It's just doable.
Makes it more possible, and that's all we need. Is we just need permission to go forth and know that it's possible. Because if we know that it's impossible, we often don't take action on it. But then once we create this infinite possibility chamber, which is what we did through this event, right? We went through our hearts and we created actually like a remote control that we can go into any reality that we choose.
Right.
Right? That's why we had these out of body like experiences. Everyone was like, "Whoa, what the heck? Like, what did I just go through?" Right? But we could actually pick now where we want to step into, and I think that that's a really important element of writing reality is the fact that you get to choose. You are the director. You are the actor. You
Yeah.
are the engineer. You are the freaking person backstage. You're
Yeah.
all of it, right? And so, yeah, Ivan, are you thinking of any other questions to ask Ryan in terms of this
Let me see.
process?
Okay. So I want to ask Tony about reality creation, brother. What kind of processes have you been using for your own self lately?
We can't hear you, brother.
About now? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. This headset's funny, but I like using it. Man, where do I start? I mean, you know, my saying is keep showing up. And then Chris is the master. He's one reason why I'm here. He's basically like, don't just show up, but show up. I'm throwing my own house music DJ event next month at a gentleman's club because I believe AZD. I believed in AZD telling me that I'm going to be the #1 gentleman's club owner in the world or whatever. Now that is like really far out there. I don't even want to be a gentleman's club owner, but I wanted to be around women. And it really, going to the Beast Camp in May, I remember you, Alejandro. I actually had like a 2-week. I felt like I had a 2-week come down after that. Like I was like, what the fuck am I getting into? And I wasn't able to invest in the Beast Camp since then. So when
Wait, bro. Hold up. You can't just continue after saying that, bro. What does that even mean? That you had a 2-week what?
yeah, it's like a come down. Like like I don't know if people would party. Is this being recorded? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
With like a high, there's a low, and I like Saturday especially, like in the kitchen after he was speaking, I was just like, and I was getting really emotional, and I was just like, oh my god, like he comes in the room after he teaches, And he's looking at me like, is everything all right? I'm like, dude, thank you so much for what you're doing. He's like, yeah. And he walked out. He doesn't want me to thank him. He wants me to do what he's doing. He wants me to pay him, show up, and do what he's doing. So I'm like, whenever AZD teaches or speaks or shares stories, I'm picturing myself as doing that. Because 8 years ago, when I had the opportunity to invest in him, it was so far beyond my comprehension. I was like, I believe he's really doing this, like it's real, but it like scared me. I was like, how many girlfriends, teaching? And I wouldn't imagine me being on here with you guys, having my own Beyond Clarity Telegram group, hosting my own events. But I've had like, I got released from my clarity class because I couldn't show up in person. It's over an hour away. I had car troubles. I was taking care of my dad. There's this woman who was, I'm going to say it politely, but my energy didn't align with. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, my business is called Beyond Clarity. I just got released. I was only 0.5% in, just scratching the surface. What the hell's going on here? And when one door closes, a giant one opens. I got more hours at this other club I'm at. They're talking about possibly giving me a manager's position. I called up one of the IMC Nation brothers that night when I wasn't in a good spot mentally, and he has a monastery in Panama City that he's staying at that I can stay at for free. All I have to do is just work, show up, not mess around, clean. And this is something I've been wanting to do for the longest time. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing it, man. I'm moving down. Yeah. I'm starting. I'm going to help start a base somewhere in Florida. I know Master Pyro was talking around him. And so, yeah, just by basically saying that I'm going to do it, Kevin Trudeau, your wish is your command. They would be in this like multi-million or billion business deal, like with oil or something. And I think the investors, or it was like, I don't know, the marketers or some other business, they're like, how are you guys going to make this happen? Like, it's impossible. Like, on the accountants, on paper, this is impossible. And the investors are like, we don't know how it's going to happen, but we just know it's going to happen because we basically said it's going to happen. And what do you know what happens? So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to surprise myself. And I basically made it happen because I said it happened. And most importantly, I deserve it. So that's why I keep showing up. And it hasn't been easy, brothers, especially here, helping my dad going through chemo and stem cell and not really being close with him. And it's like, I just turned 38. I'm back here. Like, I slept on his couch when I was 19. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm back where I was when I was 19. Like, what's going on here? But it's like, I'm doing everything right. This credit card debt I'm in, it's in good debt this time. When I was in Florida, I was living beyond my means. I trusted my friend / business partner who I thought knew what he was doing and lost some money there, but a very valuable learning lesson. And it makes me want to, like, after hearing what Pete Kirkwood went through with his business deal, it made me want to like keep showing up and give more and work with guys who've been fucked over or scammed. And that's why my club event, the guy that I'm partnering with, and him and another brother, they had like 10 years of experience collectively. His former business partner, who just happens to be gay, and then a Biden supporter, instead of paying him back money, he was showing signs of a meth addict. His partner was doing it, and I reached out to him in a loving way, like, brother, like, I understand what you may be going through. If you need any help, I'm here for you. No, I'm not. Blah 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 blah. And then they both bashed each other publicly, and I came close to threatening someone, but I used the right words so he couldn't come after me. I'm like, fuck this. I'm putting on my own event. The people who fucked us over are not invited. The people who've been fucked over and are doing this with love and passion are invited, and we're gonna throw one hell of a party. And that's what it's all about. We go through these struggles. Like, during my healing meditation retreat a couple weeks ago, I went through some hard shit. I threw up. I got some shit out of me.
Is it called Cabo? What is it called?
Combo.
Cambo.
And
Yep.
and that stuff's legal, so I can share it. Combo. Oh my god. Yeah, it came to me in a vision at this party because I was curled up in the fetal position, feeling like I wanted to die. And then later on that night, through some more assisted healing, I was just on cloud nine. Like I pictured like these DNA cells going around, and there was other people there, like the male and female host, and then some other people that I just met. I felt like brothers and sisters to me. I felt like this DNA roller coaster was going around while we were listening to music, and it was going up into the galaxy, into the sky, connecting through like different portals and different whatever is up there, you know, spirits, aliens. My friend that I lost last year, he made a cameo. He like winked at me and he's like pointing at me, like, because we'd always go and mess around, and he's like, dude, you gotta stop fucking around, like throw this party. I can't be drinking and partying when I'm on the other side running things. I gotta be taking care of people. And yeah, life's like a big party. We gotta celebrate. We all have an inner child inside that just wants to play and wants to laugh. And so, you know, do your work, beast, and then go have some fun, just like we did this last weekend. I went out both nights sober, and it wasn't easy, but oh man, it was fun. Not worrying about getting pulled over, some of the conversations I had, and then just waking up well rested. And yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna be live streaming this September 25th. So you guys want to participate, you can do it wherever you are in the world. So thank you for letting me share. And sometimes I go off on a tangent. I'm learning how to pause and speak, and that's one reason why I'm here. So thank you, brothers.
Thank you for sharing, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
This place is a place where you can come and talk. This is what this place is for. This is what Genius Days is for. Because geniuses need to get heard. All a genius needs is a good audience. It's a good audience. Right?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And one reason I got cut off a couple times last weekend at that retreat, because I normally don't have these conversations and can share the stuff that I'm learning and I'm into. And then and I can tell they were getting a little bit annoyed, but then I would ask a really good question that would help them and like help them reach out to other people and help them with their business. And it's like, I've been silent for far too long, and I'm coming up, like I feel like I'm being reborn and coming out of my shell. And I blocked 5 family members on Instagram because, you know, the stuff that I posted on there. And I noticed,
is it aunts? Is it aunts and stuff?
is it what's honest?
Because I had to block my mom just so she doesn't see.
No, my mom, 2 brothers, my niece, and my cousin. I think those are the only family members at Instagram. I don't post it on Facebook, but Demigod is like, unblock them and let them see, show them. And I was like, I'm not ready for that. But
Actually, I agree with Demigod. Actually, I agree with Demigod. Hey,
I'm
man.
like,
because I
yeah,
show them the real
that's what I was
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but let me
yeah.
tell you a quick joke.
Okay.
So it is happening in a span of maybe like 1 or 2 weeks. So I used to really like to travel all over Netherlands, and occasionally I would visit my good friend who happens to be deaf. Yeah.
Louder, bro. Talk louder, bro. I can't hear you.
And
Yeah. Talk louder. Talk louder. Talk louder.
and so what happened was I would go to clubs, I would fuck a lot, etc., come back home, and I'm being accused of being a Rolling Stone for no fucking reason, yeah? And at the one time I forget, let's say, a charger at his place, I'm being accused of being gay. I was like, what is going on? So since that day, I've decided to be very open about my sexual life, not relationships, the who's who and whatnot, but be very open with.
Here, and watch. And when you say sexualness, say sexualness, not sexualness. Sexualness, right? Say the whole world. Don't hide the word. When you, because
I see where you're coming from. So by making such dumb sexual jokes. I, unbeknownst to me, opened them up for sex jokes my way, which I was not prepared for. And then it all of a sudden became a comedy. So what I am, maybe it will work for you, maybe it won't, but my fear was based on just fear. That's it. So could you imagine your mom telling you a sex joke and you're like, it's funny, but where the fuck did that come from?
Hey, your mom told you a sex joke?
My mom told me a sex joke. My granny told me a sex
I hope
joke.
this is your step granny and your step mom.
Nah, that is I'm just cool with it. It's whatever.
Oh shit, man. These women are unhinged. These Netherlands women are not ready for AZD tech. They don't know.
But yeah, I agree with them. We got just post your shit, man. Post your truth. I mean, I was fucking scared to post cold showers. Now it's just part of the course. I was fucking scared to one, not only even drink raw eggs, but also record it. I knew I was gonna get questions. Etc. 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 Now I'm at the point where, this is not enough. I can do way more. I already feel like, bro, I can do way more. I feel like I'm holding back way too much for no reason. All of a suddenly, I have a very powerful structure diagonally on Instagram, and random racial chicks are adding me on IG, and it's fucking strange, but so be it. So what I'm challenging you, Tony, it's inevitable that they will find out anyway. Why not get high ground? That's the advantage. Why not apply the art of Sun Tzu, strike before they notice? That's how a punchline works. You don't expect it. What do you call a situation where you have two lesbian chicks and one is horny, Tony?
I don't know. I've never been in a situation like that.
I can imagine a wet box.
A red fox.
A wet box.
A wet box. Okay.
Okay, so I want to show you guys something here. Watch. This is the message. Hold on, watch. Let's see.
Yeah, it's funny too, because my mom thought I was gay. She like last year. She's like, I don't care. Like,
So when you
tell me.
hear this message in the morning, thank you for everything. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for the beautiful, vibrant being that you exist as. Be blessed.
That's it, man.
That's the message I get. And I get this beautiful poem as well. Bonded to you in emotional bliss, untied. Oh no, united in physical rapture. I realize my dreams and fantasies. I know heaven in your arms. I'm open to you in total trust. And if I can't have you soon, I'll be consumed by the fire.
Damn, bro. Yeah, that's like Neruda poetry. Fuck.
Dude, I mean, I think I'm doing something right. I think I'm doing something right. No, I think I'm just being the right thing. Ooh, alchemize my own sentence right there on the spot.
That's powerful. Just being the right thing. Nice, man.
You heard. All right.
Well,
Geniuses. It's 10:43.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up something, Ivan. Something that Tony mentioned. We're gonna wrap up soon. you mentioned the fact that you don't need to know how, right? Like the how is like society wants to know the how, right? The identification wants to know the how. The ego preservation wants to know the how. The motivation, which is the dopamine, right? It doesn't need to know how. It knows it's going to get it somehow. So as long as we can be clear about our goals, so not only beyond clarity, but also beyond intention, right? It's like it goes, it starts to create the map on the video game by just you knowing where the flag is, the map starts to form. So when someone says begin with the end in mind, it's like the end is already, it's like it all exists in the now, right? The end, the beginning, all the timelines, like through this writing reality process, I'm just starting to understand that we are always at the choice point where we can split into any, multiverse that we choose. So with that, if you are interested, if you're listening right now and you want to hop on the final day of writing reality, which is starting up very shortly, if you want, we can do it for $229, so you don't have to pay the $100 if you act in the next 24 hours. Okay, so if you're watching this video and you act within that time, shoot either Ivan or I a message, Life Masters by Ivan or Flow Zone Academy, and we're going to get you onto this 3-day journey, and you'll get all the bonuses as well. Awesome. Have an incredible rest of your day.
Are you talking about recordings? The
Yeah.
recordings? The recordings? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I got you. All right. All right. Us brothers.
Os. Peace out, guys.